Welcome
to Nightmare Nation,
the paranormal-themed podcast where we take you on an adventure to haunted places in the world.
And scary things.
And we talk about the history of said places.
And we talk about all of the scary ghost stories that are there.
And possibly murders, if there have been murders that happen there.
And maybe some seances that happen too.
Yeah.
And dealings with the devil.
Especially dealings with the devil.
Yes.
That is my favorite kind of deal ever. Forget 70% off. Give me that deal with the devil.
You got yourself like a deal with the devil right now? Did you sell your soul to the devil?
I did.
Shit.
Question mark?
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, that's not good.
You tell me.
I can't. I'm not the one who made the deal.
Oh.
Do you have a contract?
It's somewhere. I lost it. Oh. It's filed in with my taxes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Government's coming at you.
The IRS is going to come looking for my contract.
Your contract with the
Where
devil.
did your mysterious source of wealth come from? I see you've recently inherited $50 million.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's from the devil.
The devil
It's
himself.
Cool. We're a little loopy right now because we're finally recording with a microphone.
We're finally together!
Together at last.
Oh my god, it's been 2 months.
And we have so much energy.
Oh god. And we just
great.
took a tequila shot and I'm fucking boiling right now.
Anna is dripping
I'm
with
literally
sweat.
in a hot sweat right now and I'm so uncomfortable.
Why are you having menopause at age 27?
You tell me, my fucking body right now.
Get a hold of yourself.
It's just a hot mess.
Woman.
Oh, and we got my husband out here taking pictures of us.
If you hear some clickety clacks.
Ooh, some clickety clacks.
That's why. Because we finally exhausted our reel of drunken late night selfies.
Oh, I have more.
Oh.
Some of them I feel like you probably wouldn't want them.
I mean, you guys probably want something slightly higher grade than that.
Yeah, than our crazy faces, although we still made some crazy faces with Ben.
I feel like that's just our normal face.
It is.
And if we ever look like real human beings, you know that something is wrong. We're very sad.
Yes. So if you just see us regular smiling, then there's probably an issue.
Something has happened. Call the cops. We've been replaced with aliens.
Yes. Or we're possessed by a demon who is making us happy.
Yeah. It's probably the devil.
Yeah.
We are best friends now.
It is
I do
true.
have a contract with him.
You do. So it is what
great.
It is. Yep.
Oh.
Well, friends, tonight we are taking you to Savannah, Georgia.
Back to Savannah, Georgia. Our favorite city.
With our Australian Southern accent.
Anna loves to pronounce weirdly when she tries to be Southern.
It's just what it is.
It's so great, though, because there's so many haunted places in Savannah. It's like probably up there with Salem, like one of the most haunted cities in the country.
Along with Louisiana, I think, too.
That's a state.
Well, it's fine.
Do you mean New Orleans?
Yeah.
There you go.
All the voodoo. Witchcraft.
Yes, that would be a very cool one to do, because I'm very fascinated, like, with the whole, like, Wiccan religion and just, like, modern day witches and, like, what that means. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's all really cool. I remember taking a world religions class in high school, and our teacher, when we took it, he basically had an open, you know, on the first day of class, you get, like, oh my god, what's the
syllabus?
Word for it? Thank you. Yep. I was like, what the hell is that piece of paper you get on the first day? You get the syllabus with, like, all the things you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And he handed us a blank sheet of paper and was like, I'm going to talk about whatever religions you guys are interested in. And I was like,
oh, that's cool.
Can we talk about Wicca, please? Because I think that shit is fascinating.
That's so interesting.
And we did a whole unit on it.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
So, today's episode is about the Sorrel?
Yeah.
It's the Sorrel-Weed House.
That sounds right. And that's by the way, that's not marijuana. That's an actual weed called the Sorrel-Weed. It's a real plant. It's a thing.
Oh, it's a plant?
Yeah, it's not pot.
I just thought it was from their last names.
That could be. Is there someone with the last name Weed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's bananas, because there was actually a weed called Sorrel, like, in real life. And okay, so normally when we talk about a place, I will, like, if I'm doing the haunting section, I'll still look up, like, some of the history, just so I have some context, and I didn't with this one at all. So I literally just assumed it had something to do with the weed.
Oh, no.
Like, the actual weed.
No, it's two people.
Oh, that's why it's hyphenated.
Yeah. It makes so much sense.
I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I actually found this place because since working from home, I went on a binge watch of Ghost Adventures. for about 2 days. So I just made a list of all sorts of different haunting places to go to. So that's what I do while I'm working from home.
Yeah, don't tell your boss.
Sorry, Colin. He listens.
Yes. Whoops. You can have it on in the background.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I still get my shit done.
Yeah.
So the Sorrel-Weed House is located obviously in Savannah, Georgia. Construction started on the house in 1835 and was completed in 1840. The house was built for Francis Sorrel.
Oh, so there it is. My bad, you guys. My bad.
One name.
I'm sorry. I misled you.
Who was a wealthy shipping merchant and an esteemed citizen of Savannah.
Oh, Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. The house was designed by architect Charles Kluski, where he apprenticed under the architectural firm of Town and Davis. I'm assuming that they were some sort of fancy something.
Hotshot architects, probably. Yeah. I just really appreciate that anytime we talk about the architect of whatever building we're talking about, they always have ridiculous last names, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like Kluski, that is so cool.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So when Francis first immigrated, he married a 17-year-old Lucinda Moxley, not long after obviously getting to Savannah. She was a very wealthy individual, and her family did business with Francis. Mm-hmm. So
Francis Sorrel?
Yes.
The one and only?
The one and only.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lucinda died then 5 years into their marriage in 1827. No. I do not know what she died of, but back then, I mean, maybe it was the plague.
Could have literally been anything. If you're alive in the early 1800s, you're lucky if you make it to 12.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she died, and then 2 years later, he kind of fast-tracked it and married his dead wife's younger sister.
No!
Yep. So he kept it in the family.
Asshole.
Right?
Ew, that's so weird. He just wanted their money. That's all he wanted.
Exactly. He wanted their money in business. That's how you do business back then. And that was 23-year-old Matilda, and they married in 1829. So during his time in the house, Francis kept a number of slaves on his property, and there are stories that say that Francis had an affair with one of his slaves named Molly. So there's all sorts of discrepancies about this history and what actually happened in the house.
Yeah.
So the story goes that Francis had an intimate relationship with Molly, and Francis arranged for Molly to have a special quarter set up above the carriage house so that they could have their affair in private in their own little room.
I wonder if it was consensual. Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel like that was just such a common thing to have the slave owners with their mistresses on the side, and I would not be surprised at all if this was a totally true story. Maybe some of the details fudged, but yeah.
Or who it actually was.
Yeah, whether or not her name was actually Molly, who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Francis's wife found out about the affair, and she was so distraught with the betrayal that she jumped off the balcony and fell onto the courtyard ground and just killed herself. So
splat.
Yep. Then
sorry, that was insensitive. But it's 200 years ago. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then a week after Matilda's death, Molly was said to have been found hanging from a rope in the center of the carriage room where the affair was carried out.
So she killed herself too?
That's undetermined.
Oh, questionable.
So this is where the discrepancies come into play, because no one knows if it was a suicide or if someone killed her. And so there were no records of Molly even existing.
Okay.
Or that the affair actually took place.
Well, she was a slave, so I'm sure they didn't keep very careful documentation.
That's true.
Or maybe they did because they cared about their financials and wanted to make sure all the slaves were accounted for, but...
That could have been, but most of the articles I read said that it wasn't even in, the census or anything.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if they did keep it a secret. They totally could have.
Mm-hmm.
So then, another discrepancies that happened. This one, I'm a little fuzzy on the full story, but in June of 1859, and this is where some dates get a little bit wonky. So in June of 1859, 9 months before Matilda's suicide, Francis sold the house on the corner of the lot to Henry Weed.
Oh, Sorrel-Weed.
There it is. for $23,000, which in now today's money is over $500,000. So he sold it to Henry Weed, and they lived on 12 West Harris Street.
Mm-hmm.
So the discrepancy
that's like 7 blocks away, right? If according to the records.
I didn't really look up where the houses were located.
Okay, because I did as much of the history as I was kind of avoiding because I wanted it to be a surprise. I did see that where I think it was like actually 7 blocks away that people thought the actual possible murder suicide situation.
Yeah.
From the actual house itself.
Yep. But then another article I read said that Henry got the house in 1862 from a purchase agreement made with Gilbert Moxley Sorrel, which is Francis's son. So I don't know what actually happened, if Francis sold it, if his son sold it, when it was actually sold, but it was sold at some point to Henry Weed and his family.
Okay.
So this means that the suicide happened in the Henry house, and there's evidence that it occurred there. So the suicide was recorded in a compilation of Civil War era letters published by Charles Jones Jr., and he reports to his mother in a letter dated the same day she committed suicide, stating that Mrs. Sorrel threw herself off a 2nd or 3rd story window in a moment of lunacy, falling upon the pavement of the yard. So he states that the location was on 12 West Harris Street, not on, I think, the actual Sorrel house is on 6th West Harris Street, I believe. So it was next door to the house, which was the family mansion for so many years.
Oh.
So the hauntings that people see, like they claim to see Matilda in the Sorrel house, but she actually committed suicide in the Henry house.
According to the letter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see where that would be a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
but if she lived in the Sorrel house,
why was she over there?
Good question.
And committing suicide, supposedly.
That's a really good question. And just because someone commits suicide in a certain location I feel like that doesn't mean they can't haunt other locations that are important to them.
Right, exactly.
Because especially if it is next door, like if she lived in the Sorrel house, she may have just gone back to haunt the place where she lived most of her life.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I
don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
So then just some other fun facts about the house. So General Robert E. Lee visited the home in the late 1861 to 1862.
We just talked about him last episode.
Yeah, so
what a tie-in.
This is everywhere.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know.
What a fun coincidence, because literally last episode, he was a big player. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, the opening scene of Forrest Gump was filmed on the rooftop of the Sorrel-Weed House.
I saw that!
I was like, what? That's so cool!
I love that movie.
That'd be awesome.
So much.
Oh, that's so good. And then the house was first opened up to the public in 1940. I really didn't find a lot of history between, it said that Francis's son owned the house after Francis died, and then I'm not sure what happened to the house after that. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming the state took it over and then refurbished it and did whatever. Because then in 1940 it was owned by the Society for the Preservation of Savannah Landmarks. And it was one of the first of 2 homes in the state of Georgia to be made a state landmark in 1954.
Neat.
So now it was opened again in 2005, and they conduct historic Savannah tours during the day and then haunted Savannah ghost tours at night.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Wow, so I'm surprised it was closed for so many years, to the public, if it just from 1954 to 2005. I was thinking they'd been doing tours for a lot longer.
Yeah, no.
I wonder what happened in those 50 years in between.
I don't know. I think it was probably just owned by the society, and they maybe did
seances.
Things. Yep. That's why it's haunted.
Things of an unscrupulous nature.
Yes, exactly. Tell me all about these hauntings, because I didn't read anything.
Sweet. So, it's interesting because there was one part of kind of the history and the context of the house that you didn't mention.
Oh.
And I wasn't sure if you're going to mention it or not, so I wrote it down just in case. But a lot of people think that the house is haunted, or at least a large part of the reason why it is haunted is because it was built over the site of a large battle during the Revolutionary War. which we also talked about last week.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And
we're just on a war craze right now.
Yeah, we just love war.
Oh, yes.
Especially Civil War.
All of the war.
Wait, no, that's Revolutionary War. Oh my God, wrong war.
We know our history
Hold on,
well.
not Civil War, Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary.
My brain just took a second to catch up with what I'm saying. It's still a war.
Yeah.
It's still happening in America, so suck it.
Deal with it.
So it was called the Siege of Savannah, which many historians often cite as the bloodiest hour of the entire American Revolution.
Oh.
So a lot of blood spilt on that soil, and then the house was built there.
That makes so much more sense.
Yes. Some ghosties. So even if Matilda did commit suicide not in the house, you could still expect some level of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Because of dead soldiers.
Yeah.
So, yes. So the building is known, obviously, as being one of the most haunted buildings in Savannah. Also, one of the most haunted cities in the U.S.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Everything is the most haunted everywhere.
But no,
anytime.
It said one of the most. So this one actually acknowledged it wasn't the most. It was one of the most.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take it.
So it's been visited by ghost hunters and ghost adventurers, and it was featured in a Wall Street Journal article in 2009 for its reputation as a haunted building.
Ooh, that's fancy.
It's a Wall Street Journal, I know, it's very
highbrow. So official.
Yes, very official.
Gosh.
And then in 2013, Babbel wrote an article listing it as the 5th most haunted place in the United States.
Oh, neat.
I don't know what Babbel is.
I don't either.
I think it's owned by Disney because it said, Disney's Babbel wrote in 2013. And I'm like, what is Babbel? I don't know.
Okay,
should have looked it up.
That's fine.
I should say, so I got most of my information from a combination of Wikipedia, ghostsavannah.com, trustedtours.com, hauntedplacestogo.com, and then an article written by David Duran from countryliving.com.
And then I got mine from Wikipedia, obviously. ttbook.org.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
And ghostsavannah.com.
Sweet. Okay, so over the many years, there have been a lot of images that have been captured of various orbs and dark shadows on the property, and there have also been numerous recordings of disembodied voices and screams and hundreds of EVPs captured by both visitors and paranormal investigators at the house.
I found one today, and I sent to you.
Didn't listen to it! God damn it, Annie! We can listen to it on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. We were painting for 12 hours straight, so I did not listen to it.
It's so creepy.
So it's funny because for being the 5th most haunted place in the country and for being so haunted, I actually had to dig pretty hard to find specific stories. Which
so dumb.
Seems really stupid. I had to, we're talking page 3 of Google, so it's not that far. But if you have to go past page 1 of Google, you're in the deep web. You've gone beyond normal society at that point. Holy shit.
Yep. Do you want to listen to it now?
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Here we go.
I don't like that.
Right? It's fucking creepy.
Wow, it sounds like someone yelling, "Let me out," over and over again.
Yeah, so this was an EVP that the ghost hunters recorded, and some believe that it's the Sorrel slave screaming in pain or pleasure.
Or pleasure. Is it Molly?
Yes.
It kind of sounded like a dude.
It kind of sounded like a larger lady.
A busty woman.
Yes.
Let me out.
Help
Let me out. Oh my god.
So yeah.
That was so many.
Yeah.
It wasn't one going. Little it was actually
you could
over and over again
hear it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was intense. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I didn't listen to it ahead of time. If you could have seen my face, I literally just sat there.
She just didn't know what to do.
A horrible, slack-jawed, wide-eyed idiot for 30 seconds. It was just oh my god. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So, lots of EVPs. Mm-hmm. So, again, by people who have visited the place on the ghost tours, but then also by professional paranormal investigators. So, if you go there, you might catch one. So, many people who enter the house feel a strange and overwhelming sense of nausea.
Oh.
And feel like they're being choked when in the basement.
Oh, that's odd.
Yes. So the basement is kind of a hotbed of paranormal activity in the house, and particularly in one room that used to be the kitchen for the slaves that worked there is where people really experienced that nausea, choking sensation. Uh-huh. And a man named, quote, Steve, so I'm assuming this is someone who didn't want to reveal his identity because he said a couple of things, but, like, they put the name Steve in quotes, so I'm assuming they just gave him, like, a fake name.
Probably.
So he said that particular room was his office for a few months while he lived at the house. So I'm wondering if this is maybe during the time when it wasn't open for tours.
Could have been.
If it was someone's house and then he used it as an office.
Maybe.
I don't know when the story was from. But he said he always felt uneasy in the room. It was just always like a weird feeling. He never truly felt comfortable there.
Mm.
And he also said that he would often hear the sounds of parties or social gatherings coming from the basement. And when he made it to the stairs and started to go down to investigate, all of the sound would just stop.
What?
It would just go silent.
That's so neat.
Yeah, it's
that's
really
terrifying too.
Imagine like middle of the night,
shit.
You hear like clinking glasses, people laughing, like party happening, and you get to the stairs and just silence.
Oh,
it's so uncomfortable. Like all of them noticed you were there.
Yep. It's like normal scary movie.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, totally.
That's what always happens.
Yep. Ooh, so that one kind of freaked me out a little
Gross.
bit. In addition to the intense nausea, people have also reported general feelings of oppression in the house and the urgent feeling like they just need to leave. They need to get out, just panic, overwhelming, like, I have to get out of this place right now. And people who consider themselves like sensitive to psychic energy, so not necessarily like actual psychics, but people who just experience kind of paranormal stuff or feel like they have a connection to the psychic astral plane, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So they report feeling extremely panicked for no other reason. They'll just come into the house and feel this overwhelming anxiety.
Oh, that's so weird.
It's so
I want to go see it now and see if I can sense that.
Yeah, and I just, like, again, it kind of comes down to, I always think about, like, if you expect to go into a house and get your pants scared off, like, do you start to feel anxious because you're anticipating something and your body's just naturally reacting to your, like, you already have an idea that you're supposed to be experiencing something scary?
It could be.
But so many people report that. I don't know. Hard to say.
Mm-hmm. We'll just have to go to experience it ourselves.
We'll just have to go, and we'll swing by the Moon River Brewery.
It was perfect.
Yes.
Let's hit all of the scary places
in
Savannah.
Go to the Sorrel House and then get a nice cold beer afterwards to calm down.
Yes.
Great.
See all of the ghosts.
Yes. So people, and this has been common of the last couple places we've talked about too, people have reported cameras and cell phone batteries drained completely, even though they were fully charged at the start of the tour, and so by the end they're just totally dead. Mm-hmm. And the tours are only like 1 or 2 hours long, so there really would be no reason for your device to be totally drained. Yeah. Although people do tend to take a lot of pictures during the tour.
But it shouldn't drain it fully.
One would think. Yeah. Unless you got a really shitty battery. So I don't know if this was an owner or possibly a tour guide. I didn't actually catch it, but it was in the episode of the Ghost Adventures where they went to the Sorrel House, the Sorrel-Weed House, and he was being interviewed by the cast, and he said that oftentimes visitors would be trying to take a picture of him, like while he's I'm assuming while he's giving a tour. Yeah. And instead they end up with like weird apparitions on their cameras, and he's not in the picture.
Oh, that's weird.
Very creepy.
Maybe he's the ghost.
I didn't even think of that. He's
plot
the ghost. Oh, snap. He's masquerading in human form, but he's actually a demon.
He's a shapeshifter.
He's the skinwalker.
Yes.
Yeah. He came all the way from Utah to Savannah.
Just walking.
He's just walking.
Just going.
He's the skinwalker. So he walks really far.
He's walking in between people's skins.
When he gets to a new town, he just grabs someone else and like puts on a new outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's disgusting. Yeah. Anyway, this same guy who said that people would find apparitions on their camera after taking pictures, he also said that when he's alone in the building, he'll often hear footsteps throughout the house and sounds of doors creaking open on their own. Very cliche.
Nope.
So along the kind of the same lines is the picture incident. So this was an article from countryliving.com, and the guy who wrote the article, David Duran, went on the ghost tour and was taking pictures in the parlor with his tour group. So the parlor is a really popular spot to stop and take pictures, and that's one of the stopping points on the tour. And he said everyone at first, like when they left the tour, and no one had really seen anything majorly paranormal, so everyone was kind of disappointed. But he went back and was looking through his photos like the next morning. Yeah. And this is super freaky, and I have the pictures pulled up because I kind of want to show you.
Ooh, I'm so excited!
I'll see if we can post them on Facebook.
Yes.
But there's 3 pictures. So he's in the parlor, And I'm assuming he was doing like the rapid fire, like click, 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 trying to get a bunch of images in a row. And everyone is standing and looking at this giant mirror. I think it's above like a fireplace. And you can see the reflections of everyone on the tour, like all holding up their phones, taking pictures. And so there's one image where it's everyone just in the reflection of the mirror. And then in the next image, it's like super, super bright, like it got really overexposed. And it's like most of the image you can't really see because it's just white.
Yeah.
And then in the next picture, there's like 3 people missing.
What?
And instead, there is a man standing, looking completely out of place, just like alone, where there should have been 3 other people standing, and he's just standing there.
Damn it, Francis.
And it's probably goddamn Francis. And then in the next images, he's gone.
What?
And the people are back.
Oh!
And so the guy who wrote the article said he went back and was like telling his friends, like, holy shit, you guys have to look at this. And they checked the timestamps of each photo. And there was like, it did not make sense for anyone to have left the area and then gone back to stand in the exact positions they were in before. And have this like random person. And he said like no one recognized him from the tour group. No one recalled him being with their group at all. He was not on the tour.
What?
And he was just like standing there. I'm giving myself chills just talking about it. So I'm going to pull it up.
See this.
So here's the first image. So you can see everyone's reflection. You're just kind of taking pictures. So a lot of people holding up cameras, people standing in front of this giant mirror. Next image is super bright.
Oh, Jesus.
Like something happened with the camera settings or the flash went wonky or just like a ghost intervened with the camera.
I mean, if you're using your like actual phone, nothing should make it change
quite that
if you're
bright.
Rapid firing.
Right.
Like,
so
that's not normal.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And notice, everyone else is visible, but the bottom right corner where the people end up missing is the only thing that's obscured.
Uh-huh.
So, like, first picture, everyone's there.
Yeah.
Then there's a bright light in the bottom right corner. And then...
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just got full body chills.
I know, me too.
Oh my God.
Look at that. And he also is, like, looks super out of place. He looks like he's dressed from, like, the 1970s or something.
I'm gonna start crying. I'm so uncomfortable.
Yep, it's super creepy.
Oh my gosh. Like, I was expecting maybe that the picture in the back to be, like, part of it, but not just...
No.
Oh, hey.
And there's legitimately, like, 3 people missing. So there's this dude with, like, a big green t-shirt standing there, and there's a lady...
Is that lady still... Scroll down. Oh, she turned. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It looks so out of place, and the fact that, and I could see it just being like, oh, there was like a small lag between the pictures and people moved and dispersed. I could see that, but everyone he showed went back and was like, I do not recognize that person from the tour. They were not in our group. I do not have any idea who that is. So, yeah. So we'll send the link and post the link on the Facebook page so you guys can look and let us know what you think about the images. Yeah, so I thought that one was really cool, and it's one of those, like, crystal clear pictures where it's not just a little smudge in the background that may or may not be a shadowy apparition. It's like this dude looking clear as day, like creeping.
Hey, I'm here.
And he looks like he's like looking at the camera. It's very creepy. So the parlor area outside of this particular event is also just famous in general for being the place where the ghost of Matilda is often seen wandering around.
Damn it, Matilda.
That damn Matilda.
Go away.
Gotta come back after your suicide.
Seriously.
So she's been heard in the area as well, and apparently has been caught on camera a couple of times.
Ooh.
So she kind of likes to hang around the parlor. I'm not really sure why. So in the basement, and I'm not sure, it says in the basement there's one particular room that the staff don't like going into, and I'm not sure if it's the same, like, former slave kitchen room that the other guy said he really didn't like. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure. But there was one staff member in particular, so I think she was being also interviewed on the Ghost Adventures episode, and she said she hates going in there now because she had a really bad experience there once when she was setting up to kind of get ready for a tour. Yeah. She said it was like middle of summer. It was daylight. All the lights were on. It was not like middle of the night, anything creepy. And she was like kind of setting stuff up. And when she went to leave the room, she suddenly felt like there was an invisible force that like rushed her and ran at her. Oh. And it was stopping her from trying to leave the room. So she couldn't leave. She felt like she was being completely like constricted and like held from leaving the room.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And then she said there was like a weird kind of like mist that started swirling around her, like some sort of paranormal fog or something. I don't know. And,
that's so weird.
And it like swirled around her, and she didn't say how she eventually got free, but she said ever since then she really hates going into that room. And even in the episode, they're like in there and she's showing them around, and then she's like, I'm gonna head out. You guys wander around. I'm gonna leave. Also, in the same room, there is a male entity that has been seen lurking around, usually as a shadowy figure. So I'm not sure if this is Francis or Henry or anyone else associated with the house or just the ghost of a dead soldier, maybe. I'm not really sure. But there's this kind of male ghost that hangs out in the area. And he likes to sit on a specific couch in the basement.
Stupid guy.
Well, so people will sit on the couch and they'll report that, like, while they're sitting there, they will feel, like, weight pressing down on the other cushion next to them. Oh, yeah. So basically, it's as though someone is sitting down next to them on the couch, and he likes to sit on the right side of the couch.
Ooh, so what happens if you sit on the right side?
He cuts your head off.
Shit.
Yeah.
Floating axe coming at you.
Yep. And then he swirls some paranormal fog in your face.
Oh, perfect. And you don't remember anything.
Like a ghost fart.
Yup. Exactly like
a ghost fart. I knew it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm assuming he probably gets pissed off if you sit in his spot, but that would be so creepy to, like... Oh, and I forgot to say this, too, but people will hear, like, the cushion springs, like, creak.
Oh.
So they're not just, like, feel someone sitting next to you, but they're, like, the sound... I don't know what that sound was that I just made.
That was a couch crinkling for those of you who don't know what it sounds like.
In case you've never sat on a couch before, that's what it sounds like. It goes... just like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep. Okay, so the next one I didn't find any detail on, and it was only listed in one article, so I don't know who this man is or what this is related to, but apparently the main part of the house is said to be haunted by the ghost of a man who was shot and killed in the entrance. Does that sound familiar to you?
No, not even remotely. I don't remember seeing anything about a man shot and killed, but...
Yeah, I don't know. So there was no details on that one whatsoever. Just apparently,
unless it was during the war that they had, but
the house wasn't there during the war.
Right, but it was built on the land. That would really probably be the only possible thing.
But it said he was shot and killed, like, in the entrance of the house.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Skeptic. I don't remember seeing anything about
skeptical. I didn't finish the whole word. I just said skeptic.
Skeptic. I mean,
that's me right now.
I'm a word, so
yeah, it just didn't make sense in the context of the sentence. Okay. All right. Last thing is, outside of the property itself, people have reported seeing the ghosts of slaves working in the fields. So just these kind of like spectral slave figures kind of look like they're still tending the crops or fields or whatever. So
they just can't get away from it.
They just can't.
Sorry, guys.
Even in death. Man,
I'm
that's
sorry.
shitty.
That would really suck.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks. On that note.
So, friends. That is the Sorrel-Weed House.
That's the Sorrel-Weed House.
In Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Our favorite town in the whole country.
We love it. It's just great.
Aside from Salem. Which I've never been to.
I just want to go to Salem so bad.
I just feel like I would love it.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I can just picture myself living in like a smallish house with like a little greenhouse off of my kitchen with herbs and stuff, and I would sit and like write books all day long, and then go hang out in Witchtown and just have a blast for Halloween.
And that's where Hocus Pocus is based in, so obviously I need to go see it.
And we still need to watch it.
Good.
I'm so sorry.
I just get so passionate about Hocus Pocus, okay?
We'll watch it.
I literally watched it like a month. I don't even know how many weeks it's been now. Maybe 3 weeks.
I'm surprised you haven't had it on a constant loop since we've been in quarantine.
Oh, I probably should.
Yeah, just all day.
Yes.
The entire day.
Pretty much.
For like a week straight.
It'd be fine.
Okay.
I already know all the words, so.
I'm sure you do.
It is what it is.
Anders and I watched our high school's version of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat the
how
other day.
great was that?
It was so great. It was like 10 years ago. We were such babies. And it was so funny because he's like, wow, you know like every single word to this entire musical. Yeah, because
it's Joseph, hello, the best musical ever.
And I'm like, I got this soundtrack when I was like 9.
Yep.
What do you expect? It's amazing.
It on VHS.
I know! With the Danny Osmond and the original cast.
It's the best. Oh my gosh, did you see the thing on Facebook that my brother posted on my mom's wall? It was Donny Osmond. Probably not. It was.
I said Danny. I meant Donny Osmond.
He was singing the opening song.
Any Dream Will Do?
Yeah.
Like live?
Like in a little recording studio, just him.
Oh.
And he had the coat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll have to show it to you.
Feels.
It's the best.
Oh my God.
I love that musical.
It's so great. It's so good. Oh. But yeah, Anders was making fun of me, and he was like, wow, the narrator has a really big job in this show. They have to know so many words. And like, I have this entire musical memorized.
Yep.
Just saying.
Every
single
song.
word.
Yep.
I don't even know how we got on this topic. I can't recall.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, you know every word. There it is. Okay.
And we're back.
And we're back.
All right.
So, guys, if you have a story about anything paranormal that you've experienced,
let us know.
Send it in.
Email us at nightmarenation19@gmail.com.
Or check us out on the Facebook at nightmare_nation19.
Yep. And the Instagram, nightmare.nation19.
Anything with Nightmare Nation and the number 19, because we started this podcast in 2019. And everything was already taken.
Yep.
So check us out. Leave us a review. Subscribe. Leave a rating. Tell us your stories. Send them in. We want to hear from you. Let us know how we're
doing. Give us suggestions. We want to hear from you.
Anna did watch like 8 billion episodes of Ghost Hunters and has the next 47 locations picked out already. Yeah, it's great.
We've never been this ahead before in this podcast.
But if you have extra ones that you're interested in,
let us know.
We'll consider adding you to the list.
Yes, we will.
So, in the meantime, stay safe in quarantine.
Yeah.
Please social distance.
Please do so.
And
don't do Ouija boards.
Don't do Ouija boards.
Don't do them.
Don't do them. Also, don't use them to do seances.
Don't do seances.
Yes.
Don't summon the devil. Do not make contracts with the devil.
Yeah, because I already have one, so don't take mine. Back off. He's mine.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, too late.
Don't be stupid people.
Sorry. I don't know if you
Common sense.
I don't know if you can cancel a contract with the devil.
You can't. Your soul is sold to him now, and you're just done.
Okay.
So, well, there's no backtracking with the devil.
Sorry.
If
I disappear mysteriously, you know why.
The devil came for his soul.
He came for me.
Met him at the crossroads.
Traded my soul for the talent of music.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like a super big legend in the South. That you meet the devil at the crossroads and then exchange your soul for musical talent.
That, or I was referencing Supernatural too.
Oh.
Because you meet the devil at the crossroads and you bury something in the crossroads, and then a demon comes up and it's like, what do you want? And then you sell your soul. And then once you get what you... once you get what you asked for, then are they demon dogs? Devil dogs?
Hellhounds.
Hellhounds, thank you.
Demon dogs. That's
Hellhounds
the same thing.
come at you.
Oh.
And rip you apart, and then you die.
I mean,
because you sold your soul.
They are demon dogs, so that's not an
true.
inaccurate description. Yes.
So if you make a deal with the devil, you're gonna get demon dogs coming at you, and you don't want that.
You're gonna get demon dogged.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I totally didn't get your supernatural reference.
That's okay.
I've seen the show before, but it's been a long time.
I love that show.
I was talking about the paper I wrote in in college about the legend about meeting the devil at the crossroads and exchanging your soul for musical abilities.
What's the song? Devil went down to Georgia.
Devil went down to Savannah, Georgia, to the Sorrel-Weed House.
Damn it,
That's what that song is about.
It's all about it.
You guys.
Gosh, we just made so many things happen tonight.
Yep. All right, we're done rambling
now. All right, friends.
Until next time.
Be safe.
And don't use the Ouija board.
Goodbye.
Bye.